Man, I had a hell of a day in the NCAA women's tournament. My brackets, I only missed one. Great first day of games. There was only one stinker, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Call to play.
We're calling the plays, all right?
You got to listen and you got to execute.
I already feel good about me. I'm good.
Just call it.
My brackets, I think I only missed one game. And that was I picked Utah beating Indiana. This was a toss-up. This was an 8 versus a 9. It was a good game, too. It was a back-and-forth game. And I think on my other bracket, I may have selected Indiana to win. I don't even remember. But on this bracket, the one I'm going with, I had Utah winning, and Indiana edged them out 76-68. So that was a good game. But all my other picks, that was my only miss. Starting on my left side over here, UCLA over Southern. That was a blowout. Good game. Richmond over Georgia Tech. Picked that too. Richmond's a pretty good team. That was a good game. Ole Miss was balling on Ball State. They took control and took over that game, so I got the check for that. Let me say, Baylor and Grand Canyon. That game was closer than the score indicates. Grand Canyon was hanging in there with Baylor. They took the lead a couple times before Baylor finally took it over in the fourth. But Grand Canyon put up a good effort against Baylor. Shout out to them. But Baylor took it. All right, they still got to do Florida State, George Mason. So I got nothing there. They got to do USC. I don't see any reason Juju Watkins is going to lose that game. I got Mississippi State. I got Kansas State. I got to check. Kansas State beats Fairfield 85-41. So I got that. Yo, Kentucky had to get with it. Liberty was in their business. Liberty was hanging with them, and Liberty had a couple opportunities to win that game, but they just couldn't get the shots to fall. And Kentucky edges them out, man. 79-78. Great game. Kentucky edged them out, man. Good game. Iowa and Murray State, I'm looking forward to that one. That should be a good game. UConn's got to play today at 1, so I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the Iowa game. Well, Iowa starts at 12. UConn starts at 1, so I'll be checking that game. Let's go to the other side. TCU and Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson, they were doing okay in the first half, and in the second half, TCU went to work. Sedona Prince, her and Haley Van Lith had good games, but Sedona Prince, if Sedona Prince decides that she wants to dominate, she's going to dominate because she's got that little baby hook that I don't see any other bigs in college doing. I don't see Lauren Betts doing that. Nobody else doing that. She's got that little baby hick, very similar to what Brittany Griner does. I don't see nobody else doing that. And if Haley Van Lith was giving the ball out, I don't think she shot particularly well. I don't think she shot a lot, but, she wasn't lighting it up. But she did what she did, distribute the ball. And they got a good win. And her and Sedona Prince, man, that's a nice little duo. So let's see if they can keep that going. Shout out to my Kentucky schools down in Louisville. They got with it with Nebraska, handled their business. Got that. I knew Notre Dame was going to take care of business. That South Jersey girl, Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, Sonia Citron. They ain't messing around. 106-54. That was a blowout. That was never really a game. Stephen F. Austin, they hung around in the first quarter. That was about it. And then slowly but surely, Notre Dame just built up that momentum. And then when the second half hit, they took off. Iowa State, Michigan. Michigan, love watching Silas Swords. Iowa State, Audi Crooks was in her bag, but she needed help and she didn't get it. And Michigan ran away. Michigan is going to be one to watch because Michigan plays some hellified defense. So it's going to be a good game between Michigan and Notre Dame. I'm still picking Notre Dame to win that one, but Michigan playing some damn good defense. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle. Also with Notre Dame, Olivia Miles got hurt. She had a real bad ankle. She turned her ankle really bad. So I don't know if that's going to hurt her or help her going into the next game. She's definitely going to need some rest. So if she can sit out a game, that would help. They in the tournament now, so they're probably going to wrap it up. So keep an eye on that on Olivia Miles. Ohio State, they handled business. Shout out to my team from Ohio representing. They took care of Montana State. That was to be expected. South Florida, Tennessee just basically drugged them. Tennessee, they wasn't playing. South Florida looked okay, but they just couldn't match up. They were outclassed. It is what it is. Illinois and Creighton play today. I got Creighton beating Illinois. Texas is going to take care of William and Mary. Duke and Lehigh. This was the embarrassing game. Now, I was watching this one because Lehigh is here in the Philadelphia area. So I got to show support for all the Philadelphia schools, Lehigh, Nova, St. Joe, Temple. I'm going to show love for all of the Philadelphia area schools. But this was damn embarrassing. It was 86-25. That was the final score, but it was 5 minutes left in the third quarter before they reached 12 points. So they had 10 points for 2 quarters and a half. It was crazy. I was like, come on, man, that's embarrassing. You gotta at least show up. That is a blowout. Now, when I was talking about the other teams, like, UCLA, they lost by 38. Southern lost by 38, but at least they were scoring. Lehigh didn't even belong in the gym. They didn't even belong in the gym. And I was like, that's the first time I've seen a game like that. I was like, how did they even win their conference? I don't understand that. Because that was embarrassing. So, it is what it is. Oregon and Vanderbilt, that was a good game. That game was going back and forth. I thought Vandy was going to get that upset for a second, but Oregon kind of took over at the end of it and handled their business. You got North Carolina and Oregon State, West Virginia and Columbia today, Maryland and Norfolk State, Alabama and Green Bay. I saw the Utah game. Utah went down to Indiana. That was my only loss in my tournament. South Carolina, another one. They just killed Tennessee Tech. Shout out to Tennessee Tech. I used to play them when they were in a part of the OVC back in the day when I was at Eastern Kentucky. So show support for all of them OVC schools. I don't even know if they're still in the conference, but shout out to Tennessee Tech. Reed Blankenship School. South Carolina, Malaysia for Wiley was doing incredible things, and they couldn't touch them. It'll be South Carolina over Indiana. That game will be next. That game is tomorrow at 3. So, like I said, for the most part, Utah, Indiana was my only miss. So that's a pretty decent bracket. I still got Duke winning the championship. I think Carol Lawson, what she's doing with Duke right now, Toby Fournier. The way that Duke is playing defense is ridiculous. From all of the teams that I'm watching, I'm tapping into what I saw in the regular season. Duke and Michigan have played the best defense. They have played the best defense, and you know what? I would put Notre Dame in there as well. They have played the best defense, but Duke, they on next level doing some stuff. So if she can keep that intensity on defense, I think Carol Lawson gonna take them to the title. I got Duke and UConn battling out in the title. So we'll see what's gonna happen, but it'll be a lot of good games today, and I'll continue to have these updates on my bracketology. So see y'all in the next one.